All right, let's try again. Hopefully solved. Easy peasy. What could go wrong? Let's do it live. Let's blast this thing out. Change the name on Twitter. Go live again. All right, we're back, baby. Supposedly. See if anybody checking in. Now there really is never been a better time to come in hot with a little live. So, if I sound all right, hit me with your favorite emoji. Let me know that this thing, and I'm not talking to myself, by myself. You know the drill. Coming in, like, subscribe, comment, whatever, all of the above. Keep this thing rolling. All right. There's a lot of good football. There's been a lot of good football. There's been a lot of bad football. People love talking about the bad football. We're going to be kind of all over the place, everywhere in between, all at the same time. I'm excited to kind of dive in. We've got a bunch of videos coming out tomorrow. Quinn Ewers, if you're part of the Quarterback School Patreon community, Quinn Ewers available right now. Boom. It's a long one. 30 minutes-ish. They destroyed bloodbath Oklahoma Sooners. Bloodbath. See if I can feel like I'm not in the correct chat. Oh, we're back. All right, good. See if I can pop this thing out. All right. Now, Brett Birdwell. Have you watched Cam Ward? Yes. I was going to do the Oregon game, and then I got the film like a Friday, and they played again on Saturday, and I just didn't get to it. But I wanted to do it. I'm sure I will at some point get to Cam Ward. He's fun to watch. They were rolling. All right, I appreciate you guys coming back in, handling it. There you go. All right. Little technical difficulties. I went through some technical ringers today. It's amazing. I highly recommend that everyone who wants to do this type of thing, do this type of thing. But man, when something goes sideways, it goes sideways in a downward spiral quickly with this technical stuff. Bailey Zappi video when? Not soon. Probably not this week. I think I did Bailey Zappi last week for the Patreon community. Nolan. Have I had a chance to look at Trevor Lawrence? No, he was on my list for who I was going to hope to get to this week. So I'm excited to potentially get over there for, I feel like that would be better served in a Patreon video where I can watch the whole thing and kind of live through the struggles. I think it's hard to kind of encapsulate and put a like accurate lens on a team that maybe isn't doing as well as they were early on or right at the start in just the highlights, lowlights. I just feel like that's kind of like, I don't know, chickening out is not the right word, but it's an easy way to be able to like cherry pick the samples to reinforce whatever story you want to tell, as opposed to sitting down, watching the whole video and being honest in real time with it. So I might get over there and do it. I don't know if Eric, if I want to do it, if it was really that ugly. So maybe not. I really am open to whoever here for the rest of the week. I have Quinn Ewers tomorrow for YouTube. I opened it up to the top couple tiers for the Quarterback School Patreon community about what videos they want to see next over at the Patreon community. If I just had to pick who I would want to watch, I'd probably want to go watch the Jets again. I don't know. I'm trying to think of anybody else that like I'm intrigued necessarily about how they're playing. Geno Smith. My man Royce. Big time fan of yours. Big time fan of your videos. I still remember your time in New Orleans. I was 7 years old. That's crazy. Now I'm a QB coach. Love your breakdowns. My guy. Appreciate that. Very cool. Tracy Jones. I'm not familiar with the Georgia State running back. Not Georgia. Yeah, Georgia State. Or not quarterback, but whoever that is. Darren Gringer. The college thing is a little bit harder for me to get. I can't necessarily get access to all the film that I would love to get, specifically in real time. It becomes a little bit easier in the off season, I feel like, but like if there is someone that I really wanted to see, like I really wanted to see Texas, Oklahoma I'll usually get on top of it the second I get the video. But other than that, it's not the easiest in the world to get. All right, I appreciate y'all checking in, hanging out. Do me a favor, hit that like if you haven't already. I appreciate you guys spreading the word on the channel as well. There's never been a better time. Oh, here we go. My man Ben hanging out, eating lunch. I like it. There's some playoff baseball on as well. Big game tonight. I don't even know what it is, actually. I'm sure it's not that big everywhere except in Southern California. And I don't even think it's that big in LA, if I was being honest with you. But we need the Padres to make it a fighting series this year. Just letting everybody know. Might as well go backwards. Not sure how it works with the autofocus, but we'll sort it out. All right. Michael Bates. How much of Matt Ryan's troubles are due to his offensive line? I mean, the game that I watched of Matt, he certainly felt like he was getting hit a lot. It certainly felt like there wasn't a whole lot of separation for him on the perimeter as far as what they were, it's just one of those things now. When I look at across the landscape of the league, this isn't like a Matt Ryan problem, but this is like the top tier of perimeter talent. So the top end wide receivers, the top end tight ends, maybe, what they can do to a defense in the passing game feels like it's more explosive, more space than ever before. And so if you don't necessarily feel like you have that on the perimeter, they certainly have it in the run game when everyone's healthy, but it just feels like the game is tighter, more condensed. Everything is harder than necessarily it should be. And so couple that with some pass protection issues, couple that with a guy who's probably not the most mobile cat in the world, if ever, now certainly probably more so than ever. And yeah, it's going to be tough. My man Michael, appreciate that, homie. It's amazing how much time I have on my hands when I'm not coaching high school football. Got all sorts of time to do whatever videos we want. Club Fredster Sports. Are you going to be uploading the Zappy video on YouTube or keeping it on Patreon? It's only on Patreon. My man Ben, eating lunch, checking in. What you got? Any hopes to do a collaboration with similar channels like Kurt Warner's Passing Academy on YouTube? By the way, I mean, no like direct or in any like near-term future collaborations lined up. I certainly love, I'm a big fan of Kurt, was a fan of his playing, certainly a fan of his story. He's always been a good dude to me, and I've enjoyed our kind of side back and forth. It's fun for me to go back and forth with him every once in a while, just because we see the game, I would say, in a somewhat similar lens. Certainly, he was a hell of a player and certainly had a great career and played at a really high level for a really long time. And I think he fills some blind spots for me as far as things that he does really well that I might not necessarily kind of default to as far as my comfort zone. But yeah, there's a lot of space for a lot of people to be doing this and have fun with it. My man Adam, not touching that, homie. Blake McDonald, any thoughts on Dolphins 7th round rookie Skylar Thompson? Yeah, thoughts are, I did a video. Oh no. Thoughts are, I did a video. When did we do it? Must have been late preseason on Skylar Thompson. Thought he balled out in the preseason, and it's a little bit different in the regular season, no doubt about it, but I'm excited if he gets an opportunity to play an extended period of time. My man Alexander, A-Dub. Ron Rivera kind of dissed Wentz yesterday, even to the point that Alex Smith took a shot at Rivera over it. Is this going to be a huge problem? I don't even know what he said, but yes. I mean, you could take everything out of that question and just put Wentz, is this going to be a huge problem? And I would answer yes. I mean, that organization feels like it's been a bit of a dumpster fire for a long time. That's the nicest way to put it, from the top down. And so for it to be played out over the course of, the offseason with the defense coordinator being a clown, or, the head coach, quarterback that's struggled to get along anywhere, be a, this kind of tough relationship. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ron Rivera. I feel like we were at a few places together. I always thought he was a stand-up, quality defense coordinator. Now, being a head coach is totally different, or somewhat different. But if I had to pick or hedge aside on where I was going to come down, it would probably be on Ron's side without knowing the context of what the hell he said. And I'd also couple that by saying Alex is a pretty stand-up dude, so if he feels like someone's coming sideways at a quarterback, he's probably going to stand up for him too. Boom. My man Adam. Glad you liked that one, my guy. You're welcome, Ben. I bring that to the table. Super Dino coming in hot last month. I started watching your channel last month, and the game already feels completely different than before. Very cool. Appreciate that. Thanks for sharing, my guy. That's what I try to bring to the table. One element of it. Get a little deeper level of satisfaction to understand what you're watching. YG. Have you seen any difference in Jimmy G gameplay? No. Sorry. Delusional Patriots fans. Summation of what Rivera said. What was the difference between the Commanders and the other NFC West teams? He said quarterbacks. All right. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Well, we got close to 50 of our closest friends hanging out in here. Now is the time. If there are scheme questions, it's hard for me to answer specific questions about your favorite team's quarterback, because if I watch the film, I'm putting out the video. If I don't put out the video for your quarterback's film, that probably means it definitely means I didn't watch it in depth, all 22. It probably means I didn't watch a damn snap of it. So I apologize if you feel like I'm like hedging you're like, why he doesn't like my quarterback, he never answers my questions. I just I don't know what, I know there was some craziness at the end of the Cardinals game, but I didn't watch that game. I don't know what the hell he did. I don't know what the hell they did. Those are examples of, like, Andrew, thoughts on a rookie cornerback? No, bro, no thoughts. Zero thoughts. I apologize. All right, Sterling. Do you know why some quarterbacks can get the ball to their elite receivers better than others? I would probably push back on this. What quarterback can't get the ball to their elite receivers? Like, the little I watched of the game last night with the Raiders, it sure looked like there were, I didn't watch the all 22, but it sure looked like Davante Adams had a safety on or near him a lot. And so if you can't get it to him in one-on-one situations, there's someone else has to be able to win. Someone else, you have to find the one-on-one somewhere. Phoenix, DB, bro, the Justin Fields thing is up. It's on the Patreon community. Get over there and make it happen. Sterling, Baker, can we talk a hot second about the head coach change at Carolina? Okay, we've been talking about this for a while on this channel. We've alluded to that being a terrible situation. Someone came across on my timeline on Twitter somewhere that the head coach said that Baker was going to play a role in the hiring of the next coach. I couldn't tell if that was a joke. I was hoping that was a joke, and it was just like a 3-year Letterman type account coming at me, but I look like a beat writer. If that's the case, that is hilarious on so many different levels. Okay, there will be another quarterback in Carolina. He will probably be named Bryce or CJ, or if they fight it for another year, Quinn, but it's coming. Now, I don't know if it's going to be much help to that organization. That's like saying a quarterback's going to fix, the Washington franchise. There's a lot of issues over there. And so, I think for me, it's the Carolina story for me is just not that interesting. Honestly, the most interesting thing to me in Carolina is how Sam Darnold seemingly has not had an opportunity to flourish in any sort of organization that isn't a dumpster fire. I wish him the absolute best. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, to be honest with you now. Ellison Lord, your opinion on what you think Trevor Lawrence's ceiling is. I don't think we know what his ceiling is. I'm not going to put an artificial cap on it. He could be one of the best playing. I think it's a combination of things, again, coupled with the history and what that franchise has been the last, half decade, if not more, to what it is, where it's going, what it looks like, the roster, the defense. All those things look like they're aligned. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is going to be the issue or the ceiling to stop that team. So I'm excited to watch more Trevor Lawrence. The guys that I'm just like naturally intrigued about the position guys playing right now, besides for the obvious, like everybody wants to watch Patrick Mahomes. Everybody wants to see Lamar Jackson. I think everybody's intrigued by Jalen Hurts. Although I would like to go back. I heard he didn't play quite as well this past week. I didn't watch any of it. Guys like Zach Wilson, guys like Trevor Lawrence, guys like Justin Fields, that young group, what that looks like, how that shakes out on a kind of week-to-week reactionary overreaction kind of vibe. That's where I'm interested in. I want to see the growth of these guys over the course of this meat part of the season. When you start talking about playing football around the holidays, Halloween, Thanksgiving, December, that's real ball. And if they can continue to improve and like accelerate the kind of trajectory of what those organizations look like right now, those are the types of the stories that I'm most intrigued with. Quentin, you missed it. I already talked about it, buddy. Sorry. You got me. I don't know if I have a good laugh. We'll go this for my man, the RC plane builder. How do you sack the quarterback without being penalized? I don't know, man. They're going to solve this. I will say, let me say this about the whole roughing the passer thing. Both those calls, the Brady call, the call last night against the Chiefs, they're terrible calls. They're terrible. And for me, the reason they're so bad is that they go against the intent of the game. It's like it's one of those things where the only way that there's going to be change is for it to be so ridiculous and the outcry so loud that the one of the many things that the league is really good at is they have their finger on the temperature as far as what the public or crowd wants. When they feel like they're being embarrassed or someone's embarrassing the Shield is being embarrassed right now by these calls, it will get fixed. Now, will the fix solve all the problems? No. But will there be something to be able to put some sort of like scaffolding around the decision-making process around these penalties? Yes, immediately. Whether it's review, whether it's, some sort of rewording of the rule, it gets fixed now. Like as we're having this live, they're having their meetings to fix it. I think it's just, I love the idea of protecting the quarterback, and it's just gone too far. And so now we bring it back a little bit. All right. Appreciate everybody hitting the like. That's coming in hot, coming in late. See if we can get to a few more things. Kayleen Alexander, do you think Desmond Ridder should get his chance in the ATL? Hell yes. I think he should have gotten his chance right out the gate. Well, we got Miguel. Is there a limit to how many different ways defenses can disguise certain coverages? No. For example, have you ever seen every way they disguise cover 4? Every way. No, I mean, there really is no limit. I'm sure there is like some sort of mathematical limit, but it would be pretty big to be able to say what they're going to disguise. And honestly, at the end of the day, I don't think it matters that much. I don't want to hurt defense coordinators' feelings, but there's a kind of flip side to disguise. So if you're going to live in a world where you want to disguise every look, or you want every look to be the same, well, that takes a lot of time to be able to not only teach that, but rep it with your players. And if I know a team, they wanted to get in the disguise world, they want to live in kind of trying to make us think that they're coming pressure one way, not coming the other, we're just going to go fast. And if you don't have the capacity to go fast, well, then we're going to get in exotic formations. We're going to put you in quads, put you in empty, put you in tight condensed formations, make it a phone booth. We're going to put you in heavy personnels. And so I just feel like, and many times for the quarterbacks, and this is going to, I don't want to hurt people's feelings. If you think that you're like the offense coordinator guru and the best passing coordinator ever, many really good offenses, passing games are just pure progressions. So it doesn't matter what the hell the read is. You could be playing cover 99. I don't care. If the read is 1, 2, 3, it's 1, 2, 3. Now, some offenses, passing games, it does matter. You got man zone reads, open closed reads, but I think, for a lot of people, pure progressions is a nice, clean, easy way to do it. Google account. Oh man, I don't know. This is not defense school. I don't really think in those terms either, so sorry. Eric, can McVay turn around this morbid offense? For sure. For sure. They can turn it around. They can go out and sign somebody. They can be intentional with trying to spread the ball around a little bit more. They have to get better up front. They have to be able to run the ball a little bit better. And I think Matthew Stafford can play better. It can be all of those things. NorCal Faithful 77. What's up, JT? What challenges does a rookie center have in calling protections? A lot of challenges. They can certainly do it. And I think you would kind of funnel the process to make it as simple as possible, as opposed to, giving them every tool in the toolkit. You give them a handful of tools and maybe grow it as the season progresses. But, you're certainly going to, certainly going to be tough because you're going to see a lot of shit you've never seen before as far as front identification, pressures. The thing about the league is you carry so many more pass protections, all the play action, all the naked boots, all the keepers, the drop back, the screen game, just way more. Everything is more. But then the pass protections, I feel like, are the heaviest volume. And depending on where you're at, they could be, I don't know if you'd carry 20 plus into a game, but you certainly have 20-ish in your system. And so you basically every run has a play action, all those types of things. So it's tough. Oh man, boom, Alexander, a former NFL player who shall remain nameless. Oh, come on, man. Tinder hot? Really, bro? Why? Don't do it. I got to be my own, whatever it's called, gatekeeper, moderator. All right, Alexander, I appreciate the support, first of all, homie. A former NFL player who shall remain nameless said that a rookie QB shouldn't play until they can call the protections efficiently. What are your thoughts on that? I would have the opposite thoughts. I don't care about that. An NFL player said a rookie QB shouldn't play until they can call the protections. I don't think so. This is not tennis or golf. It's a team sport. If you've got a veteran center, you got a veteran offensive line unit, you don't have to have the quarterback do this. You don't have to have the quarterback point the mic, repoint the mic, make protection checks. You just don't have to. It's a team game. To me, that's a bit of an old school, dated approach. No offense to your player, but I don't think you have to do that. Marty, hey JT, long time, first time. What are your top 5 favorite pure progression plays? Thanks, Marty. I appreciate the engagement, the support. I don't know if I could give you top 5. I will say this, and someone maybe speak up if you're in the chat who's taken the course, because my most, I don't know if you guys can see that, but by far my best-selling course ever is the How to Beat Every Coverage course. If it's too expensive for you, usually do a really big Black Friday sale, which is right around the corner. In that, I want to say I have my top 10 favorite beat every coverage call. So that's probably, and most of those are going to be pure progressions. So as an example, I think I have a video on drive out. So basically 2x2 concept, a must outside release go, 10-yard out and then a drive concept of a shallow and an in. You got multiple runaways. You got zone options. You got good man beaters. You got a hole shot. Those types of things to me is one example. Another thing you can do is check out the quarterback school play calling tool. I'm not sure if the link is in the description, but it's in every description to every video. That's also another way that kind of goes into models how I think about calling plays. Google account. Hey JT, what do you think the biggest problem with the Broncos offense is? I'm not going to touch that. Also, do you think Pete Carroll noticed Russell Wilson's regression and that's why he was willing to trade him? That probably played a role in it. I don't know. I'm just speculating at that point, to be honest with you. Not a great question for me to answer. Sorry. Prince Lightning Rod. All right. First of all, let me set the table here. We're going to get off in a couple minutes. My voice is starting to hurt. In your eyes, what is the best way to develop a quarterback? What's tough? So like what type of development are you talking about? You talking about youth? You talking about scholastic, collegiate, professional? We'll just assume you're talking professional. To me, it is a combination of many, many things. So I think of it as like a critical path plan where like we're going to have measurable benchmarks all working together into the same kind of funnel that at the end of the day is looking for high level performance. So it's comprehensive. It's, taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, understanding the tolls, the physical tolls, the strength, the conditioning, the flexibility, that kind of thing that goes into playing for a decade. Then obviously the learning, the scheme, the X's and O's, the coaching, the technique, all an element of it. Then the leadership capacity element of it, the ability to influence groups, organizations, community, those types of things that all play a role in it. Being a teammate, all those things. I think as long as you have an intentional plan to kind of at the same time be working and developing all elements of those things, I think those are the best, most comprehensive plans. Now that sounds like a lot because it is a lot, and it's certainly not easy, and it takes a lot of people all pulling in the same direction. And so that's why that quarterback development world is so important. And then we're just talking about, that's just from the team. Now you're talking about individual off-season trainer, guru, working on your craft, diet, nutrition. It can be a lot. Marty, my guy, you're the man, homie. Ben, what has to go wrong for two receivers to run into each other? I don't think a lot has to go wrong for two receivers to run into each other. If you're talking about that last play for the Raiders, I watched it on TV, or at least the highlight. I think Devontae Adams just gets bumped at the line of scrimmage. They're, I think, probably going to run like a scissors concept post corner, and that corner is going to go outside release. That post is going to go inside release. The post gets banged down. The corner gets kind of banged out, and you got friendly fire, and it's over. My guy Michael, appreciate it. How to Beat Every Coverage was one of my favorite courses that I've created. I'd probably say that about every course, but I really do. I did enjoy that one because I felt like it was, some of the courses are a little bit more coach specific or player specific or play quarterback specific, but the How to Beat Every Coverage course, I feel like has touched or been able to influence more groups than I would have even thought of. So I really enjoyed that one. All right. That's about a wrap, y'all. I certainly appreciate you hanging out. We'll continue to try to do the off day live sometime around midday West Coast time. Big day today for baseball, so get over there, enjoy. Thank you as always for supporting the channel. I really do appreciate it when you spread the word, tag me on different platforms. I certainly enjoy the engagement, going back and forth, all that stuff. Thanks again. I'll see you on the other side.